Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Practice Podcast, where every conversation helps you speak real English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ben, sipping, of course, a very large coffee.
Of course you are. How are you today, Ben?
Honestly, slightly humiliated.
Humiliated? Before 10 in the morning? What happened?
I walked into my usual coffee shop, opened my mouth to order, and nothing came out.
Nothing?
0 words. The barista just looked at me. I looked at her. Full silence.
Oh, no. And you go there every single day.
Every day. I know her name. She knows my order. And still, my brain decided to take a small holiday.
So what did you finally say?
I pointed. Like a child. I pointed at the menu and made a sad little noise.
Then,
I know.
well, that is genuinely painful. But it is also the perfect subject for today, because we are talking about coffee shop conversations, how to order, how to chat, how to survive that little counter moment without pointing.
Please, save me and everyone listening.
This one matters in real life. Coffee shops are where you meet friends, take a break at work, or start a conversation while traveling. A smooth order gives you a huge boost of confidence for the rest of the day.
But first, we have a small request.
If you enjoy our podcast, please click the like button.
And please subscribe to English Practice Podcast so a new episode lands with your morning coffee.
And share this episode with a friend who is learning English, especially a friend who also freezes at the counter.
Thank you so much. It helps us a lot.
We love our listeners, truly.
Okay, save me. Where do we start?
We start at the door because ordering begins before you speak,
Meaning?
meaning you look at the menu while you wait in line. You choose. And when it is your turn, you already know what you want.
That is embarrassingly logical.
The classic opener is very simple. Hi, can I get a medium latte, please? Or a touch more polite. Hi, I'll have a medium latte, please.
I'll have. That sounds smoother than I want.
Much smoother. I want is grammatically fine, but in a shop, it sounds a little blunt. I'll have or can I get carries the same meaning with more warmth.
Noted. And the sizes? Because every chain calls them something different.
True. In most places, though, small, medium, and large is universal. If you are not sure, you can just point discreetly at the cup and say, "That size, please."
Discreetly. Not the way I pointed today.
Not today, no. Now, one word people hesitate on, the drink itself. Latte, cappuccino, flat white, filter coffee. If you cannot remember the name, describe it. A coffee with hot milk, please, gets you a latte anywhere in the world.
Describe it. I love that. Speaking beats silence.
Always. And then 2 little questions come back at you. For here or to go? And anything else?
For here or to go. So, staying in the shop or leaving?
Exactly. If you are sitting down, you say, "For here, please." If you are running to work, "To go, please." Or, in Britain, "Takeaway, please."
Takeaway. That is one of those words I always forget mid-sentence.
Then just say, "To go." Everyone understands both.
And anything else?
Add a pastry, a small snack, or, if you are done, a very useful phrase. No, that's all. Thanks.
That's all. Thanks. Short. Complete. Done.
Try that one at home, everyone. Out loud. Hi, I'll have a medium latte for here, please. No, that's all. Thanks. One breath, one line. The whole order in about 6 seconds.
Okay, so the order is safe. But then there is the other moment, the small talk.
The dangerous zone.
Very dangerous. They say something friendly, and my brain buffers.
Give me an example.
This morning, before the pointing incident, she said, "How's your day going so far?" I said, "Yes."
Yes.
I answered a question with yes, which was not the question.
Ben.
I panicked.
All right, let's fix that forever. When a barista asks, "How's your day going?" they are not asking for your life story. They want one short, warm sentence.
Like what?
Pretty good, thanks. And you? The "and you" is the magic ingredient. You bounce the question back, and the pressure disappears.
Pretty good, thanks. And you? That's it?
That's it. Or if the day is genuinely rough. A bit slow, honestly, but this coffee should help. Slightly self-deprecating, always charming.
Self-deprecating, meaning making a small, gentle joke at your own expense.
Exactly. Like when you tell a story about pointing at a menu.
Ouch. Fair.
Other openers you will hear. Busy today? Keeping warm? Raining out there? These are not really questions. They are friendly noises. You just need a short, warm reply.
So for keeping warm, I could say, "Just barely. That wind is brutal."
Perfect. Real, casual, weather-flavored English.
And if I don't understand what they said?
You have 3 safe lifelines. Sorry, could you say that again? Is polite and clear. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Is softer and very natural. Or simply, sorry, one more time?
One more time. I like that one. It sounds almost like a song lyric.
Ben.
Focus. Yes. Continue.
Now, the coffee arrives, you say thank you, and you turn around with a hot cup and a full room.
The seat hunt.
The seat hunt. This is where a whole new set of tiny phrases lives.
Tell me, because my strategy is currently stand awkwardly and hope.
A time-honored classic. But you can do better. If a table has one free chair, you go up and ask warmly, "Excuse me, is this seat taken?"
Is the seat taken? So elegant.
Or if 2 people are sharing a big table, "Sorry to bother you. Do you mind if I sit here?" The "do you mind if" is the polite formula for asking permission.
Do you mind if? That sounds like an idiom my brain refuses to remember.
Practice it in your head 3 times before you approach. It becomes automatic.
And if I am meeting a friend there?
Then you have another lovely little script. You walk in, you spot them, you say, "Hey, sorry I'm late. Have you been waiting long?"
Have you been waiting long? That's a present perfect continuous. Beautiful, but scary.
It sounds bigger than it is. It just means starting in the past, still happening now. And in a coffee shop, it becomes second nature.
Second nature, meaning it feels natural and easy, like breathing.
Exactly. And the friend will say, "No, just got here." Or, "Long enough to finish half my drink."
Which is a very gentle way of saying you are quite late.
Passive-aggressive with a smile, a classic coffee shop art form.
I feel personally called out.
Good. Then a warm follow-up. "What would you like?" "My treat."
My treat.
Meaning, I'm paying. It's a small, generous phrase that instantly lifts the mood.
My treat. I am stealing that one for the rest of my life.
Right. You have your seat, your friend, your drink. But one more little counter moment tends to trip people up.
Paying.
Paying. Because they will ask, card or cash? And in many cities now, tap or insert.
Tap, as in holding the card near the machine.
Exactly. A light touch, no code. Insert means pushing it in with the chip.
And contactless?
A slightly more formal word for the same thing. No contact between card and machine, just a tap. If you hear contactless is fine, it means go ahead, tap it.
Contactless is fine. That is the whole sentence I need.
And then the very last question. Do you want the receipt?
which I always answer with a confused blink.
2 words settle it. No thanks or yes, please. That's the whole thing.
And here is my personal nightmare. They ask, "Can I get a name for the order?"
Ah, the name moment.
My name is short, 3 letters, and somehow every barista writes something different on the cup.
Which teaches us a useful little trick. If your name is tricky, you can offer a simpler version. It's Ben. B-E-N. Spelling it out slowly. Or if a name feels too complicated in the moment, invent a nickname for the cup.
A coffee shop pseudonym.
Exactly. Many people do it. It is one of the small, unspoken rules of city life.
I am going to be Bob from now on.
Ben.
Bob is a good name.
All right, before we practice this all in one scene, let me pull out the mistakes we hear most often. The ones almost every learner makes at least once.
The greatest hits.
First, answering how are you with a long, honest report.
Meaning listing every problem in your life.
Right. Fine, thanks. And you? Is enough. Save the real answer for your friend at the table.
Another one?
Another one, saying give me a coffee. Grammatically fine, socially blunt. Always soften it. Can I have a coffee, please?
Please, please, please. Britain runs on that word.
A third one, over-explaining. If you cannot remember receipt, do not launch into a paragraph. Point at the little paper. Say, no thanks. Moving on.
Point respectfully.
Very respectfully. Now, a small one that people miss. When they say, have a good one, do not stand there trying to translate it.
Have a good one. Good one what?
Good day, good afternoon, good rest of your life, it does not matter. It is a friendly send-off. Just answer, you too, thanks.
You too, thanks. Simple. Warm.
And one last one, freezing when they ask, for here or to go? There is no wrong answer. Even if you say the wrong one, they will just pour it into a different cup. Nobody dies.
Nobody dies. That should be printed on every coffee shop wall.
You are doing better than you think, everyone. These little counter moments, they only feel huge from the inside.
Okay, Emma, show me. Full scene. You be the barista, and I will play a nervous customer.
With pleasure, approach the counter.
Hi, I'll have a medium latte, please.
For here or to go?
For here, please.
Anything else?
No, that's all, thanks.
Great. Card or cash?
Card. Contactless is fine.
Perfect. Can I get a name for the order?
It's Bob.
Ben.
I told you, it sticks now.
How's your day going so far, Bob?
Pretty good, thanks. And you?
Busy morning, but I cannot complain. Have a good one.
You too, thanks.
And scene. Notice what just happened.
I did not point once.
You did not point once. You used I'll have, for here, no, that's all, thanks. Contactless is fine. And you? And you too, thanks. 6 phrases, 1 calm conversation.
6 phrases and a fake name.
Ben.
Okay, walk us back through the phrases quickly, one by one.
I'll have.
A soft, polite way to place your order, as in, I'll have a medium latte, please.
For here or to go?
The question about staying in the shop or leaving. You answer with one or the other.
Do you mind if I sit here?
The polite way to ask permission, perfect for a shared table.
My treat.
A warm, generous phrase meaning, I'm paying today.
Contactless is fine.
The magic answer when they ask tap or insert. A small tap and you are done.
Have a good one.
A friendly send-off you hear everywhere. You answer, you too, thanks.
And you?
The tiny question that bounces small talk back and saves you every time.
Beautifully done.
Okay, now, my favorite part.
The question of the day.
Here it is. Tell us, What do you order in a coffee shop, and how do you say it in English? Try one full sentence out loud right now.
I'll go first. Hi, I'll have a large green tea. For here, please. That is my Saturday morning.
Mine. Hi, can I get a double espresso to go, please? Because I am, as established, a coffee person.
Your turn now, wherever you are. Start with, hi, I'll have, and finish it your way. Say it in the shower, on the walk, in the car. The mouth needs practice, not just the ears.
And before we go, quickly, if this episode helped, please subscribe to English Practice Podcast.
Click the like button so more learners find us.
Share this episode with a friend who orders coffee every morning.
Drop your sentence in the comments. We read them, and it makes our day.
And turn on notifications so the next episode lands right in your feed.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Don't be afraid of mistakes at the counter. Every mumbled order is one step closer to a smooth one. You are doing better than you think.
Keep practicing your everyday English, and we'll see you next time.